Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here, and with me, my co-host.
Collin here.
Hey Collin.
How
Uh,
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Episode 9 was awesome. Of Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Really liked it. I thought it was
Might
great.
have a new contender for favorite,
Yeah, yeah,
or at least for me.
yeah. It's definitely up there. It's one of the better episodes that we've had this year. So I guess without burying the lead anymore, let's just go ahead and dive in. Uh,
Right.
we open with the team.
Music.
Yeah.
The amazing music. We
uh,
open the before you see anything, it's black title screen and it's music. And it's like this westerny, I can't describe it any other way, Western type music, and it's so good. I almost expected Mando to walk out or something, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Like not really, but kind of. And then like we so then we're hovering over the Looney Tunes planet. I like to call
Such a great call. The
it.
Looney Tunes planet.
Yeah.
Dude, where's Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner?
Right.
But no, so like that, yeah, they're in a volcano-y looking kind of planet. It almost seems like that's what I described it. You calling it a Looney Tune planet, way funnier, way better. But they're looking to get some Ipsium.
Right.
Um,
This is a super combustible material.
Yeah, that is also very valuable. And Sid apparently just bought a mine on this planet that is like really left unnamed for the most
Right.
part.
It seems like some leftover mining operation, and there's just a little Ipsium left, and so they're going to collect. And Sid sent them on this mission.
Yeah, Sid sent him on the mission to go collect some more, or to go collect mine and get this Ipsium for him. You know,
Right.
they land outside. They find the mine. They're like landing outside of it. We which like from the
They land in the coolest spot ever, just like super. Like they have to land in like this one spot, but it's like away from where they're
Yeah, but it's
at.
like
Yeah.
blocked from a direct like view
So
of
Star
like
Wars,
where they're
like
going and
just leave
stuff.
the keys in there. Leave the keys. We're gonna leave it running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Just
got to
like
get out of here fast.
it'll be fine.
Um, yeah, so they kind of split up in this moment for a minute, with Omega and Wrecker, and then Tech and Hunter go in the
Yeah,
mine to check it out. And like this point, you could already tell like Omega's like kind of salty this episode. She's gonna be, uh, she's not okay with Echo leaving. Like
no,
the rest, everyone else seemed to have like moved on. This is the next mission, blah blah blah. And Omega's like, no, we're talking about this.
yeah, we're talking about that. Well, to be fair, like from like short of like the Camino people like on her planet, like that she was like always kind of there with, like she really
Right,
hasn't had much of like a family outside of the squad. So
right.
and outside of anyone here, and hasn't really had to deal with somebody like Crosshairs left, you know.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah,
But
she
like
wasn't there for that.
that didn't really affect her. That like
Right.
affected the rest of the Bad Batch, and
Right. She finally has a family, a new adoptive family, and she's like seeing it split up, and like everyone else kind of just move on, and like, well, what? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, I get it. She's very much like, well, would you guys feel this way if I got left behind? Which
yeah,
clearly isn't the case.
right. It's clearly not the case, but like she is still, yeah, she's still feeling bad. But you know, Tech and Hunter, they bring her inside the mine, like because Wrecker is doing his
Yeah, they immediately realized they needed Omega's small stature to get inside there.
right, because Hunter and Tech, they go inside. They find the Ipsium, but it's like up in a crevice, basically over like this, like I don't know, metal scaffolding, basically,
Right.
and like so they need a small person like Omega to be able to climb on in there and be able to get to a good drilling position. And Omega drills and gets that Ipsium.
Yeah, they trust her a lot. I mean, it's kind of like like clearly Tech trusts her a lot, but like it doesn't come across to Omega how much Tech trusts her and likes her and loves her and cares for her because
True.
he cares for her in his own way. But it shows here, you know what I mean? They're ready to let Omega do it, and they're not necessarily having her keep watch just because she's younger or whatever. They needed an opportunity for her, and then when they had it, they were ready to give it to her.
Hmm. Well, yeah, and it's been really weird. This whole entire episode has been like you've seen Omega like not appreciating or not like being very responsive to the way that like Tech has been talking about like Echo being gone and stuff, and
Right.
like being like we're
Kind
just
of kind
soldiers.
of sociopathic the way he is. He's just a
Calculated,
data guy, and he's not.
calculated. He's ran the
Yeah, he's
numbers.
not articulating the way she does. She doesn't have the her. She wears her heart on her sleeve. He doesn't.
I mean, he did the math, man.
Right.
Did the math.
And he knows. Yeah. So anyway, they at this point they mine the Ipsium and Wrecker's outside, and we kind of see this little thing, this little guy sneak up to the Marauder and take it. It's a little purple
Basically,
haired
yeah.
mask wearing. I don't know who he is. Person. At first, I thought it was Hondo, and then I'm like, no, that's a human looking person. You could see it through the gloves.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. We have no idea who this person is. So it opens up a huge question: who stole the Marauder, and how are they going to get off this planet?
Right, because what they're outside of the mine, they see the Marauder go, poof, gone,
Right.
and like they're like Hunter is already feeling, or no, Wrecker feels the or sees the storm changing course to come back at him.
Right.
Hunter
Which is
hears
cool. That storm is so cool looking.
right, and Hunter or I'm sorry, then yeah, Hunter then hears right before the ship turn like flies away, like hears it like here's the
Like,
engine
is that
click
their ship?
over or
Yeah.
something, or like or like the door open or whatever it is, because like that's like Hunter's thing. He's just got that like sense like
Yep.
that hearing kind of sense about him.
Daredevil.
Um, and then the bickering
Except you can
that
see.
ensues here
Yeah, yeah.
because like
Tech and Wrecker. It's funny.
yeah
Because Tech's right, but at the same time, Wrecker's right too. Because like, there's nothing. What would he have even done? Like, I don't know. The guy kind of got there and took off pretty fast.
right, and there was and like to be fair, there
Or
is no
girl.
direct line of sight there. Like Wrecker would have had to have been standing at like there's like a nice little divide that you can kind
Right.
of see. Like he would have had to have been standing there and then being able to bounce between them, and that's just not going to work, you know?
Right. So they're ready to formulate a plan, but at the same time, Omega is like, well, what do you mean? Like, we can't just let our home go. Like, you guys are just ready to move on, not realizing that okay, it's step by step here. Like,
Yeah,
maybe we could think about that down the line, but right now, this episode's a very much Omega being unable to live in the moment and realize what's happening right now, and but that understandably, at the same time. So yeah, they kind of come up with a plan, and she's like, "No, we need our home back." And Tech's kind of like, "Nah, we'll get a new ship. Like,
yeah. We'll go to
no
the
big deal
spaceport.
again." And she's like, "What? Like, this is a big deal."
There's a
And
spaceport.
they
Yeah, they
just
go
go
to
ahead and come up with a plan to walk to the nearest town.
the spaceport that's 40
Right.
clicks south of them. And then this is where like the real episode like kind of like adventure really kind of
This
kicks
is
in.
where it kicks off. Yeah.
Like this is a lot of fun then.
So they're walking down again Looney Tunes world, but we get a crossover with Lion King here,
Okay,
and
you had the same feeling as I did.
yeah, Wrecker almost gets Mufasa
Yeah, right?
hardcore here.
As soon as they were walking like through that like trench or whatever, like that the stampede comes through, I was like as soon as they walked in there, I was like, "Ooh, man, this is Lion King." I got some
Yeah,
Lion King vibes. I was like,
yeah.
I was worried actually they were gonna kill like Hunter or something right here.
All right.
Like cards on the table. Really thought that that was gonna happen for
Yeah,
like
no, they
a minute
Mufasa,
or two.
Wrecker almost, but
Yeah,
yeah, this so Wrecker's carrying the Ipsium out of there, and he drops it, and they're freaking out. They're like, "You can't just let it fall," and he's like, "Well, what about me? I almost got trampled right there."
yeah,
But he does the heroic move and goes ahead and jumps on the Ipsium and saves them all.
yeah,
But in the moment, they get the Ipsium goes ahead and blows up some rubble near them, and they get trapped.
yeah. So yeah, as they're getting because the stampede is over, they've got the Ipsium. Then the storm comes, and that's what drives them into
That's
the
right.
mine.
Yeah.
And but Tech this time decides to carry it instead of Wrecker
Right.
because Tech
He's
is
like, no
so
problem. It was so funny how
well
it happened.
because
He's like,
Tech
all
is
right, you
just
carry it.
Yeah,
Tech's like, all
yeah.
right.
Tech is just annoyed with like Wrecker and all of his complaining. He's like, fine, you know what?
Right,
I'll just do it. It'll be fine.
right.
It'll be fine. And then storm hits, tornado basically almost hits, some lightning and stuff, and bam, Tech drops it. They dive into the nearest open
Cage.
mine, and
Yeah.
yeah, dude, then the thing blows up right before it, and they're trapped in there. And the constant
Yep.
bickering between Wrecker and Tech is just like amazing.
Yeah, it's very
It,
like C3. Tech's very C3PO. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's very like his bickering's so funny.
Yeah. Well, and like even what he says here, like, like because it's at this point where Omega like really is like, we lost our ship, we lost like Echo, and like Hunter's like, we didn't lose Echo.
Right,
Like,
right.
Echo is on a different mission. He's not
Yeah.
here. Like Hunter's trying to like bridge that closely, like trying to be like because he
He knows how to
clearly
talk
sees.
fatherly
Yeah,
compared to
well, but he also sees
yeah.
that even aside of the fatherly thing, Wrecker even was asking like Omega, like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, what's
Right.
wrong with you?" Like, so it's like it's not just like Hunter who totally is like the father one of them.
Right now.
Not saying that the rest of them don't care about her, but like, so even Wrecker picked up on it. Hunter picks up on it,
Yeah,
and
they
then
look
Tech
at Tech like, dude.
is just so cold. Like, well, we were a squad before Echo. We will be a squad after Echo, which is true. That's
Which again,
all.
but it also triggers Omega like,
But it
okay,
also,
what am I to you guys then?
yeah, exactly. Like, because it really makes
You
Omega.
were a squad before me. Will you be a squad after? And it's like, yeah, that kind of is. So Hunter's trying to bridge the gap, like you said, and Tech's just not getting it. But Tech again, he's blunt and he's very
Yeah,
robotic, and that's just how he is, and that's also understandable from his perspective. But she's a kid, so it's like, dude, come on, man,
yeah, it's like
figure it out. Sugarcoat it a little bit. So yeah, they have a little falling out right here, and Omega decides to explore like she always does,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, they can't dig their way out, and they're like, oh, if we just had some Ipsium, we could blow our way out of here, but they can't figure it out, and that's when Omega stumbles on like a whole batch of Ipsium.
Yeah, she sees like the little hole in the wall, and like kind of looks through, sees the little like blue light. Well, because like as she's exploring, she turns off her light and like her like little lantern that she's carrying around, and like really only has a very dim like visor light on. And so
Right.
she looks
He's
like
crying,
just yeah, just kind of hanging out there in the dark, trying to like deal with her problems, crying and all that. But then she looks to her left, and that's where she sees the light of the blue coming through the hole. And then she kind of takes the drill out and like drills a little bit around there, and then that whole like opening just kind of collapses like
Yep.
in. And then she sticks her heads in, and it's a huge like cavern full of Ipsium all over the place.
Right. And we cut back to the Hunter and them, and they basically tell Tech, go talk to her. And like what Tech finds her, and he's like, oh my God, you could blow up this and like us and everything around us, right? And she's like, yeah, so you might as well just be quiet
Yeah,
until I can get to it.
might as well be quiet and let me do what I'm doing here.
Right. She's kind of killing it in this episode. And they have the same idea basically. Like he's like, oh, I thought we could use some Ipsium, nice,
Yeah,
because we could blow our way out of here. She's like, yeah, I had the same idea. She's like, let me get to
and
work.
she even asks him like she like because Tech's like, all right, if you do this and then, and she's like, do you even trust me to do this?
Right.
And
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 Tech clearly says, yeah, like, yeah, of
he's like,
course.
yeah, I think you are very capable of completing this
Right.
task, this mission and stuff, and like, so that was really nice because because like Tech finally is getting it, like
Yeah,
getting.
but at the same time, it's this is the beginning of this conversation basically between them, and they kind of like are like Tech kind of gets across to her like uh they just need to move ahead right now. Right now, they need to worry about what's going on right now, and they need to move ahead. So they start mining it, and they're getting through it, and there she's on the last little piece of Ipsium. They're about to mine out, and she slips. She slips and
Just
falls.
out of reach too,
Yeah,
like
That's when Tech grabs her, but again we get another little mini explosion kind of, and they fall.
Hmm.
And they fall into like this oasis. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
So
under the mine. It's like a little waterfall area. It's really pretty.
it's like a wading pool basically that
Right.
like that a river slash water, because it's like it's a very clear river like running through it, like
Hmm.
getting to that like waterfall like wading pool basically, like where they start to plan the other exit then.
Yeah. So they see at this point they see it. They see a light out basically, and they're like, "All right, we can blow our way out of here from here." So Hunter and Hunter and Wrecker need to get here.
Yeah. Well, they
Get out
call
there.
on the comms. They call on the comms first. They get no answer, and like Hunter's like doing his like almost force kind of feeling of like things
Right.
in the world almost. Like it's the only way I can kind of really describe it for Hunter. But like that little like feeling that he does, he's like, "Whoa, something's wrong." And then they keep calling, they keep calling, they like eventually get through. Once Tech and Omega are washed up on the beach of like that wading pool, making it through the waterfall and everything.
Yep.
And they Tech Wreck or Hunter and Wrecker go and basically do the same thing, collect all the gear. One thing that I noticed though, I noticed that Tech left his helmet back like with all the gear and stuff.
Okay.
Like when he fell, he didn't like have it in his hand or anything. It like wasn't there, wasn't with him at all in their journey. And so I was like, man, how are they gonna get like
They do have magic ways of doing
to
that
how
sometimes.
are
So
they gonna
you
get
noticed in
Tech a
Star
new
Wars.
helmet? Well, no, the thing is that they cut back. They specifically for this reason. There's a quick cut back to like their stuff, and his helmet is there before Hunter and Wrecker get there. So they show you that like wherever it was, it like fell over
Right.
by the rest of the stuff, and like, but not down to like the Ipsium like pool or some other place or whatever. Because you see it once Hunter and Wrecker then grab all the stuff and follow them basically down there. One of the first things that's thrown up there is Tech's helmet, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, okay. There you go.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they did catch it. They did like
Nice. Nice.
see that they didn't like, because I was like, oh man, he lost his helmet. That sucks. How are they gonna get him a
Right.
new one?
Right. Yeah. So this is also when Omega and Tech kind of have their real combo, and
Right.
they like kind of get into like Tech's just basically like, I adapt to change, and she's like, but that's not that's it's easier said than done.
Well, and he also says that he processes moments and feelings differently. Like just
Yeah,
because,
this is the moment where he finally says like, no, I feel what you feel, I just don't process it the same way.
yeah, you know,
And yeah, but it's cool because Omega kind of does cause Tech to go introspective in this moment. She, we're not just soldiers, we're family, right? And he's like, oh wait, kind of reels back. And yeah, he's just like, yeah, but I just, I'm processing it different than you are, and I'm using words that are different than what you would use, because I'm
right?
sure he thinks of Soldier and his family as family. You know what I mean? The soldier, the
Absolutely.
soldiering he did. But yeah, this is basically like, so they have this great conversation, and they just realize that they're coming to terms with things differently, and this is when Wrecker and Hunter just kind of fall through the crevice down into the thing, and
It's like when you
yeah,
just
you just
hear
need Wrecker fall
out of
down.
nowhere.
And then we get Tech kind of using this blaster in a piece of the
Ipsium
piece of
file.
Epsium to blow up the crevice.
Hmm.
And this is when the music is back on. The music, the wonderful
Well,
music.
my one thing about this is Wrecker being like, "Aw, why does he get to shoot it?" Music. But Wrecker complaining that Tech gets to shoot the Ipsium is like something that I found to be
That
like
was funny. Yeah.
extremely funny.
Just like so silly. Like, dude, let's get out of here. And he's like, but I don't wanna.
But I
Yeah.
want to destroy it. I'm Wrecker. I wreck.
So yeah, this is when the music hits back up. They're out of the cave finally, and they're like, "Uh-oh, storm's still a thing we have to deal with, and we have to walk to the spaceport." And again, they could see it from where they're at, but they're like, "Wait, it doesn't look like there's much going on there."
Yeah. And Wrecker's just like, I don't care. There better be chow. That's all I care. Like,
Right.
like
Which I would
all I
have
care about
thought the
is
same thing.
chow. I am
Same.
sick of rations. And of course, they get there and it's abandoned. It's deserted. Nobody's there. So it makes
But
me
Tech
think.
sees the upside.
Yeah, Tech sees the upside because they can make the long range call. They make the long range call to Sid, and Sid's like, "I'm sorry, what? I'm not helping you guys."
Really, this is a side of Sid. You're like, all right, I don't know if I like you anymore.
Well, I mean, no. This is exactly what I would expect from Sid, and this is why
Right.
I don't trust Sid ever
Yeah.
because of
I know,
things
but
like
this
that.
was a moment that this is exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, this is a moment that solidified it.
Yeah,
Before, maybe, oh, she's maybe on the arc. Maybe she's
yeah.
on a getting better arc.
Nah,
No.
no. She's
Yeah,
still.
she's no help. She's less than no help. She's like, oh, maybe I could help in a few days,
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of when Omega's like clearly learned something, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, we'll figure it out.
Well,
We
even
always
Tech.
figure it out.
Well, even Tech is like, well, no, you have to help us because we did this and we did this, and so
Yep.
yeah, you're going to help us. And then she's just like, all right, fine, give me a couple of days.
Yeah, a few days though. Like I don't know. That's she's barely helping. She's not doing,
Right.
and it almost seems like a setup.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, I don't know if that's what it is, but it's like the way that whatever that guy or girl was that stole the ship just seems so on purpose and like it was meant to happen like that. I don't know. More about
Yeah,
trapping them than stealing the ship.
the whole hand on the ship and like feeling it, that was weird and
Yeah,
stuff. But but
yeah. I
yeah,
couldn't figure it out. It might be a new character.
because Hunter lays into Sid here and is like, no, we can't last the 2 days. We don't have rations. Sid just clicks, like, oh, hangs up. And then this is when Omega, does the tech line, and yes, of where she learned something of like, it's okay, we'll get through it because
We got this. We
we're a
always got this.
squad. Like we always get through it. We'll always get through it, and like we always do. This episode definitely ends on a little bit of a sadder note. For sure, they lost the Marauder. Don't know
Yeah.
if they're going to make
I'd
it.
say it ends more hopeful with the way Omega's seeing it. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's sad in the fact that they're down Echo, they're
Yeah,
down the Marauder now. But I think that this is like now, like literally, it's called the crossroads, right? Like the crossing.
yeah,
So like this is a crossroads episode. So they're getting we're gonna get more hope, I think,
yeah,
coming after this. And so this was literally a to be continued episode.
yeah.
They kind of look off into the distance and I'm like, all right, let's do this. We got to figure it out.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to give us the next bit of this of them just like the next episode, if we're going to see them leave this planet or if they're already going to be gone off this planet. It'll be
And it seems
interesting.
like the whole episode is going to take place on this planet, trying to get off this planet.
Yeah.
Because the whole ending was basically them like, all right, let's figure this out. So I just
Yeah.
don't see them. I don't see them skipping over that. It seems like a straight up to be continued.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
hope.
say it, but it seems very much because they'd have to. There'd be so much story jumping. They'd have to have gotten a ship. They'd have to have gotten help to get off of it. And it seems like a whole episode in and of itself. And who's that thing who was it that stole her
Who
ship
stole their
in the
ship?
first place? I'm sure that won't even come up barely in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it being totally on that planet again, like for like at least 40-50% of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd hope so. I'm excited. I like this. We're
Yeah, they finally
officially.
get treasure, but they get caught. They get trapped.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they're like a million, but they're like in a million. But they finally get it this episode, and they get trapped on the planet.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll run into some fun characters next week.
But
I
they're
can't wait.
so we're more than halfway through this series now. This is episode 9. We've got 16 total, so we've got like 7 more episodes. I'm super excited. I don't think we get another 2 for episode until like I think it's 15, 16, and then I think it's like 10 and 11 maybe.
Yep,
or
something like
11 or
that.
12 or something.
11 and 12 maybe. Yeah.
It's one of the, yeah, it's one of those there. So I'm super excited about that. I'm excited to see next week's episode.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think they'll do it with next week because so next week will be 10. So I think it's 11 and 12, maybe even 12. Yeah,
yeah,
because next week will be this continuation. So I'm
yeah,
almost
that's
surprised they didn't do this episode in two parts
yeah, or like
because they easily could have.
dropping it like 2 episodes at a time. Yeah, I agree. Um,
But
but I think if they actually, if I'm being honest, I think that they didn't drop 2 episodes because Ant Man came out this weekend, so they wanted people to watch one episode of Bad Batch and then go spend the weekend watching Ant Man. But
true,
that's
and they
that,
want to make it last till the Mandalorian, so there's a little,
yeah. To because this almost ends like right perfect. Like there's a slight little overlap in I think actually the
yeah,
finale is like the second week in Mandalorian is like when episode 2 airs. So yeah, there's a nice little overlap there. We're gonna get all kinds of Star Wars stuff coming our way. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode. Colin, I
yep,
want to thank you as always for joining me here, co-hosting for our Bad Batch commentary track, season 2, episode 9. I'm Jimmy with the Triple C Collective.
I'm Collin. Peace out.
We hope you all stay safe and may the Force be with you.